Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 15 of my 1 vs 2 vs 2 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against two separate teams of 2 Emperor AI per team, and I'm playing as the Tigran Necromancer, Ramhotep Devilclaw. In our last episode, we managed to recruit basically a ton of additional units, and you can see them all right here. So we have a few kind of interesting ones here, like, for example, a Ghoul Frostling Ice King, which is a tier 4 Frostling Giant unit. Very neat. We also have a Frostling Phalanx that's, again, tier 3 Pikeman, very strong. We also have some additional undead units here, like the Apparition, which is a tier 3 monster unit, as well as a Fire Spirit, a Ghost. We have a Archon Revenant Titan, and we also have a few other miscellaneous living units like this Ogre and the Nomadic Chieftain here. So we really have quite a few units here, and we're forming up basically an army to attack Carishar, who is located just to the south. And you can see we at least have eyes on one of Carishar's cities, but I'd like to try to find his throne and really just kind of bring all of my units to bear. And of course, we've got some other miscellaneous stacks just south as well of my main army. So lots of units here to basically bring the fight to Carishar, and that's going to be the game plan this episode. Now, before I dive into the episode, though, I did just want to give a couple of quick shout-outs to a few individuals who left some fantastic comments on the previous episode. The first of those comments comes from Death. Now, Death pointed out that since I have all these units, it's almost kind of hard to figure out what to do with all of them, and that's a great point. But what Death is also mentioning is that if I do see any of the residual gold piles, which, like, for example, we have some mana that's sitting here. I think there was some gold as well. I can't remember if there's any that I've actually seen around here, but basically keep my eyes peeled for those gold piles because obviously all of these extra units are, straining my resources as they all have additional upkeep. So good point there from Death. That is something you do have to kind of watch out for as a Necromancer. It's kind of a good problem to have, though, to be honest. But once you really get Ghoul Curse kind of, up and running and you're using it effectively, you really can rapidly expand your army and therefore rapidly expand your gold upkeep cost. So just a good thing to keep in mind. The next comment's here from Nolan Cook. Nolan pointed out that I should continue to build forts to improve my gold income, and that's a great idea. I'm currently, if I remember correctly, building a fort. Yes, and it is finished now. So I have a fort that's been constructed and has brought this Heart of the Arctic into the domain, which is great. We also brought in the Hall of the Forefathers for a little bit of extra knowledge income, which is great. But one thing we do still need to do is we need to again, improve our gold income. So this is where Nolan's comment's going to come in. If we can keep this builder going, we can basically keep traveling along here. In any other areas where we've got maybe an opportune spot to throw up a fort, maybe to generate additional income or to gain some extra casting points, I should definitely do that. Nolan also mentioned that doing a scenario might be kind of cool, but it might be worth checking out the scenario editor that I believe is part of Age of Wonders 3. Now, this is something I've never used before, but that's certainly an option of, if we wanted to, maybe in a future playthrough, I could try a scenario, either one of the pre-built ones, or alternatively, I could try either making one myself, or maybe checking out the Steam Workshop and seeing if there's any other scenarios that are already built that might incorporate some of the mods that I have installed. Anyway, these are just ideas that I'm kind of spitballing at the moment, but I appreciate Nolan bringing that up. The next comment here is from Insert Username. Insert pointed out that the Theocrat hero that I was able to recruit in the last episode, yeah, right here. So you can see we've got Lux Aeterna, which is a Theocrat hero. Actually going to help me out a fair bit, but really, really good point brought up by Insert that having a Theocrat as a Necromancer leader, having a Theocrat hero is maybe not quite as useful, given that a lot of the Theocrat's upgrades and abilities may not necessarily affect my undead units. That said, a lot of the Theocrat spells will still be useful, and of course the Theocrat is still very, very powerful, especially if you have certain units, like let's say you have, something like maybe a Dragon Dwelling, or you have something that you have units that can't be turned, or maybe a bunch of Elemental units, for example, something that you can't turn into a Ghoul, because then the Theocrat's really going to shine. And of course, once the Theocrat is leveled up enough and gets Resurgence for all the units, that's still going to benefit even my undead. So it's not to say that a Theocrat's bad as a Necromancer, just that it does have a little bit more limited utility because, again, a lot of the abilities kind of rely on the units being alive. So good point there from Insert. Insert mentioned that he's kind of less interested in seeing scenarios, generally due to the fact that they're pre-made and you kind of know what to expect, I guess. But Insert did mention that seeing the campaigns might be kind of cool. So, you know, the heroes kind of carry over from mission to mission, if I remember correctly. Again, I played the campaigns, the vanilla campaigns, before there were the expansions for Age of Wonders 3. This would have been back when the game was first released. So I really don't remember them all that well. And, you know, it could be really fun to go back. But I think that's something I'll keep sort of on the back burner for in the future. But I appreciate the feedback. And then finally, a comment here from Samuel Otashi. Samuel pointed out that this was something I had mentioned last episode, but regarding the Tigran debate, Samuel pointed out that he pronounces it Tigran. So I'm glad to hear I'm not alone and I'm not crazy for pronouncing it that way. So as always, a big thank you for the excellent feedback and suggestion, guys. I really do appreciate it. And now let's jump in and get started here on the episode because, again, we have a lot to do, and I'm really excited to start bringing all these units to bear. So first things first here, let's just take a look. So we have Kaiser's Experiment still running. So this is... all right, we can summon siege engines is basically the thing. So that's kind of interesting. Mab's Boon is now done. That's really good. That means that when we have a city that we migrate over, it's going to have some benefit for the first, I think, 5 or 10 turns, which is really good. Let's see. We can summon our Banshee, so we'll have to decide where we want to do that. We have an observatory in Kabalg that's underground. Okay, kind of an interesting, you know, building an observatory underground. That always kind of made me laugh because it's like, really, are you serious? Like, what are you gonna be able to see with that? But, you know, again, I digress. Urs 4 here, we have a laboratory. That's good. So again, really improving our knowledge income. That's good. All right, so now let's jump back up and see what else we can move over here. So one thing that was also mentioned was the apparition doing a ton of spirit damage with its attack. I believe that was Death who had mentioned that. I apologize if I'm incorrectly attributing who brought this up, but I'm inclined to agree. That's really a cool set of damage types there. You've got Frost, and then you've got Spirit, so that's kind of a neat combo. And quite a bit of spirit damage for a melee strike, so very, very cool. All right, let's see. Okay, so these living units can move, but I think we were just kind of wait and sort of group everybody up before we start, you know, really going anywhere. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And again, these two, I think we're just hanging out. Yep. So that's going to do it up there. Now, let's see if we had anybody else that could move. Yeah, we had kind of done everything with Jafsar and Leandra. And we also have Sheila here. So again, we're going to keep moving them to the just kind of straight left. Now, it looks like we've got an independent here. Idra the Monster Mender. I wonder if this was a hero that previously belonged to one of my now dead opponents, so either Gamblag or Yizzo. I'm not entirely sure. The other option is that... actually, I think this might be the hero, because it's a Draconian. This probably was Karishar's hero. Oh, that's right. Carishar lost a battle to some mermaids. I bet this hero got seduced or something. Oh, that's hilarious. That's probably what happened. That's kind of funny. All right, so now let's figure out where do we want the Banshee. You know what? Probably with one of these stacks, because, again, they are a little bit, you know, maybe lacking units here. You know what? Let's maybe add one to Leandra's. You know what? What we could do, actually, now here's an idea. We'll summon the Banshee there, and we'll do a little bit of scouting. We're going to move the Banshee over, enter the cave, and I'm doing this mainly, I just want to see what's here. Okay, so I can't actually see anything immediately on entering the cave, so let's just do a little more scouting. Okay, that's not really, you know, getting me anything. There is a Forbidden Sanctum there, which would be cool to raid if I get the chance, but I'm more right now focused on just kind of killing my opponents if I can. So what we'll do is we'll move the Banshee back, and we'll add it into Leandra's stack. So that's going to take care of that. Now, if we go back to casting, we actually still have quite a few casting points. So now we could throw an Embrace Darkness on a city, perhaps. Although I don't think we really have anything that we're going to be producing units out of at the moment. Not at least kind of on the front lines of battle. So what else could we do? We could do a Lost Soul. You know what? Let's maybe do a Lost Soul. Oh, we could do Undead Plague, but we're going to probably capture this city right away. So I don't think it'd be worth doing. Let's do a Lost Soul, and then we'll have some additional scouting capability. Yeah, I like that idea. So you know what? Kind of same idea here. Just trying to think where would be the most effective for me to scout. You know what? Let's kind of do the exact same thing. And then we'll just head down this direction here. And we can kind of just... Yeah, and there we go. That's what I was looking for, is to find cities in this volcanic terrain. Once again, this probably isn't the throne city here. It looks kind of small. But I suspect that Carishar's throne is somewhere in this volcanic terrain in there. That would be my guess, anyway. All right, now we will continue with summoning another Banshee. And we can choose a research option. Maybe before I do that, though, let's just make sure we've moved everybody else as much as we want to. If I remember correctly, yeah, we're waiting on at least one more unit to join in with my new hero. And, of course, we do have this Queen of the Lost, who I'm really excited to see in battle. That's going to be quite a lot of fun, I think. Who else did we have moving around? We had a scout down here that's already done its thing. And then if we jump underground... Oh, yeah, this stack. Now, we have lost a few units in it, unfortunately, but... Oh, dang it. And that's a dead end. All right, well, we don't have any way to tunnel through there, which is kind of a shame as well. That's been unfortunate. So we'll turn around and start making our way back. And this guy's going to do a little bit more digging for us to just acquire some additional resources. I see a treasure chest over there. That would be worth grabbing as well if we could. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Some extra gold. And otherwise, I think we're more or less okay. If I remember right, we are building a bit of an army, though, just to head down here and then capture this goblin city. I think that would be useful. Now, let's do a research choice here. I mean, you know, it would have been nice to get fertility rights a lot earlier in the game, as that would have helped my cities expand. I mean, it's still useful now, because my cities are still growing. I mean, you know, as a necromancer, they do grow quite slowly. We could get advanced seafaring. You know, that'll get us closer to advanced logistics. You know what? I like that, because we are going to be moving our units in to try to get... Yeah, I'm going to do advanced seafaring, and then try for logistics, because again, movement, we want to move as quick as we can and try to find that throne city if possible. So, Cabalg, I think we're just going to continue kind of working on, you know, developing our cities here for additional income. For now, we'll just do merchandise. I don't want to, you know, break the bank right now. Necras, I think probably same thing here. Let's jump back and do some merchandise. Urs 4, we did finish that laboratory, which is nice. So you know what? Maybe we'll do an observatory. Again, kind of funny because we're doing it underground. But, again, that extra knowledge is helpful. And it'll, you know what? It'll also expand, if I jump back underground there real quick. It'll expand our domain more quickly. It's going to take 12 turns, but once this is finished, we'll add in the ancient ruins. So we'll get 10 knowledge from that and 10 knowledge from the observatory. So it'll actually give us 20 extra knowledge income, which is not too shabby. All right, what else do we have here? I think once again, we're just going to do merchandise. I'm really not all that concerned with additional development kind of right this second. Now, here's a spot I could try and do these two gold mines here. That wouldn't be terrible. Again, the only trick is I think a fort costs, if I remember right, yeah, it costs 100 gold. So if I was going to put it there, it would take 5 turns to recoup the cost, because that's 10 gold per turn from each. So I don't think I would get anything from the Spring of Life that would be valuable. And unfortunately, Carishar took this Frostling city from me. But I'm going to pay him back, don't you worry about it. So then I guess the question becomes, where should I send the builder next? You know, those 5 turns, that's not terrible. I mean, it is pretty hard to find, like right here with this trading post in the gold mine. That would be ideal, because that would be 30 gold per turn. So that would only take, you know, well, 4 turns technically, but 3 turns and you'd have 90 gold. So that would almost have paid for itself in 3 turns. All right, well, you know what? I think we will head down here, and then maybe we can... Oh, and I forgot we hadn't cleared that one out. Well, Never mind. There goes my plan. Oh, well, not a big deal. All right, this Banshee, again, we were going to maybe regroup, but for now, we'll just stay there because we can't quite make it back into the stack. That's going to end our turn, so we'll end it there. Now, yeah, okay, Tigran there. That's our Shadow Elf opponent, who we really haven't, you know, dealt with at all yet. I think that's something else I'm going to want to consider here is maybe making an army. You know, I've got these 3 stacks with my heroes. It might actually be worth diverting one of them down to head through this Shadow Gate. Because really, as far as I can tell, this is the only Shadow Gate I've actually come across so far. So, ooh, and Tigran is now Paragon. That's not good. So I believe that means he's got a tier 4 unit. So he's going to be very difficult now. All right. Let's check this out. So Carishar won a battle. Interesting. Okay, Carishar has a presence in the Shadow Realm. I wonder if that's where his throne city is. I mean, it's certainly possible. Tigran is the first to build or summon a tier 4 unit. Now, I mean, of course, I have some tier 4 units, but I didn't build or summon them. I recruited them via, Inflict Ghoul Curse and Greater Reanimate Undead, which doesn't count for Paragon anyway. And then Tigran won a battle kind of further north, so we do have a join offer. Again, they're going to keep offering to join. I think for now we're not going to worry about that. It would cost us way too much money. We have Seafaring now. That's going to help us out. So now the next thing is going to be to try to get advanced logistics. So that's going to help us out. What else could we do here? Well, okay, so let's kind of focus on how we want to group our units here. So this is our flying or floating stack, that's for sure. So I think what I'm going to want to do is maybe take the Apparition and add it in here. Again, I'd like to have units that have the most movement potential in this stack. So you can see here that the Apparition has pretty good mobility, so I think I'm going to add it in. And again, it is a floating unit, which is what we want. So again, we're going to head basically straight down, I think. Although, we could, I suppose, head over for this dungeon and try to get even more units out of there before we go for the city. You know what? We could actually send this group in just to scout. Oh, yeah. I mean, we could probably take the city with just what we've got here. Yeah, let's just do that. And then, you know what? We don't even have to worry. We can sort out what we're doing here and where exactly we want to go next. So in the meantime, though, let's siege the city here. I think we'll use the Raptor just to engage the battle. Yeah, this should be a good one. And we do still have a bit of a challenge here because we do have to get past the gates and the walls. So let's jump over. Now, our Deathbringer can get over the wall via Shadow Step, and that's really one of the only units that's going to be able to easily get over the wall. Our Lost Soul also, I believe, can, but otherwise, I think everybody else is going to have to either climb or break through the gate. So, let's do that then. What we'll do is... Actually, I think our Poltergeist can as well, now that I'm looking at it. The Hellhound down here, who is kind of tough to click on. We're going to move over like this. The Oil Occultist will move over. The Flayer, I believe, is infantry. Yes. Okay, so that's going to be able to at least get up on the wall. The Raptor can charge the gate, as could, I suppose, the Berserker, maybe. Now, the Ogre does have a Demolisher, so that's maybe going to help us out. But we'll head over this way with the Lost Soul. Alright. Ouch, that Firestorm Pillar kind of hurts a little bit. Throwing some fire bombs at my... Ouch, my poor little halflings there took quite a bit of damage, but that's alright. So yeah, now we can get in past the wall with our Poltergeist, no problem there. Same with our Deathbringer, get closer. You know what, let's hop up on the wall with the Flare. We'll start attacking the gate over here with our Raptor. Very nice. And our Occultist can kind of just You know what? Can we drop a heal? Yeah, let's... this might be a bit of a waste, but... might be nice to just heal that flare. And then we can keep our Mystic down here with everybody else kind of thing, just to provide some healing support if necessary. Meanwhile, the Ogre can step over and start bashing into that stone wall. The Lost Soul can kind of cruise over that way. And then the Berserker can just run back. That's going to do it. Okay, so the Lost Soul got killed. Not really that unexpected. Boy, the Ogre's sure getting beat up, though. Alright, let's attack the gate some more. Okay, one more turn and we'll have that gate broken down. Now we have the Flayer in behind enemy lines. We have the Poltergeist. And we are about to have the Deathbringer as well. So I think what we'll do is we'll jump in with the Deathbringer like this. The Ogre, it's not really worth keeping in and getting beat up even more. So our units that are hurt will retreat back. The Deathbringer is going to take some damage, which is not going to be very fun. But kind of is what it is. So I think we'll just sit tight. Again, we want to get in behind the walls with as many units as we can. Ouch, the Ogre taking some more damage. Oh, and of course I grouped my units up, which wasn't the smartest move on my part. Okay, so thankfully we tanked the damage actually quite well. The Raptor can finish the gate off. There we go. And then now our Mystic can do a bit of damage. Not that it's really going to help much, but I mean it's better than nothing, I suppose. There we go. Do have to be kind of careful with the Poltergeist, because the Poltergeist doesn't have that much health. Now, you know what? It would be nice to just get right in there, because we do have with the Deathbringer Tireless, if I'm not mistaken. You know what? Let's do it. Yeah, there we go. Now we're right in the heart of the group here. Let's attack the Flamer. Nice, we got the Ghoul Curse there. That's kind of cool. Oh, and you know what? I can do... Shoot, I should have done this before I charged in there with my... with my Deathbringer. That's alright. You know what? We can hit the Flamer here for a bit of damage. And then we can step up with our Poltergeist as well. And then everybody else can just kind of sit back, do their thing. The Lost Soul will run back just because we don't want to die now that we've used up our first life. Oh, shoot. Oh, I thought we were going to lose the Deathbringer. Okay, that was dangerous because, of course, they stepped off once, which is always the danger when you put a unit next to a ranged unit like that. They can step off. So that actually wasn't the smartest move on my part now that I think about it. Yeah, it was a little risky. Alright, so let's see. You know what? We can step over and get the finish with our Raptor. And our Poltergeist can actually heal up the Deathbringer, which is what I would like to do. So let's do that. Very nice. And then the Mystic can drop a heal on somebody as well. Let's heal up our Oil Occultist. And then let's get the finish. Perfect. Very, very nice. There we go. We took the city. We didn't lose anybody. That's exactly what we like to see. And then we can migrate it over. And we should get all the benefit of Mab's boon now once we migrate it over. So that's huge. Oh, and here we go. Here's another one of Carishar's heroes. So we definitely want to reinforce the city. We can do that with our living units, perhaps. And then, of course, here we actually managed to recruit all of those units. We Ghoul Cursed every single one. So we just, you know, took his city, killed his units, and added 3 more units to our army. That's pretty hilarious when you think about it. All right, let's get this little guy in there just to do... Oh, and look at this. There's a beetle. What else can we see? Okay, that's another city that's not... that city is not his throne. Okay, not really unexpected there, just given that it's kind of on the edge and it's pretty small. On the edge of the volcanic terrain, that is. And I expect that his throne is in there somewhere. Just trying to see. I thought if I zoomed in, I almost saw something. I think that's haste berries that I'm seeing there. Yeah. So again, we need to do some more scouting. Well, that was a pretty good turn of events there for me. All right, so now let's kind of gather our forces as I was talking about before. So one thing we could do is head down towards the hasteberries, I suppose. It's not a horrible idea. And alternatively, we could head over this way. You know what? I like that. Let's do this. We can clear out this structure. Get our apparition involved. And then we can make another stack here. Now, this is another floating stack here. You know what? I'm going to add in the Sarcophagus of the Betrayed. Look at that. We've got a completely floating army there. That's pretty good. Meanwhile, this stack just needs a healer. That's kind of the big thing, is that this group's going to need a healer. Someone who can heal undead. And I think we're going to be pushing kind of in this direction, so this stack's going to go into the woods there. We can add these two in, because why not? And there we go. The only thing we're missing in this army is a healer, so if I can get another support unit, I've currently got one that's maintaining this stack, but if I can get another one, I'm going to add it into this army. In here, I guess I could move the Wraith out of there, but then I've really only got Ramhotep healing this group, and I like having two healers in the main stack, so... Alright, you know what, we'll bring everybody into this fight just to get the benefit. Some Pudos and a Draconian Charger. We're just gonna auto-combat our way through that one. Very nice. We got the benefit of the Shrine. And then, you know what, let's move closer, and we can grab this dungeon next turn. Nice, and we did get a level up for Ramhotep, now level 12. He does have Undying, which is really good. I think getting Invoke Death next would be pretty useful. I mean, you know, most of these upgrades are great. Exploit Despair is great, as I think he already has Inflict Despair. You know what, let's do Invoke Death. I quite like that ability. We'll grab that. It's a nice way to just, you know, have a chance to insta-kill a unit. We could also grab Throw Curse, I guess, but... You know what, I think instead, maybe I'll just grab a little bit of extra hit points here. Yeah, there we go. It's pretty good. Okay. Very nice. So that takes care of kind of this northern group that we've got. We do have our scout over here who's doing a little bit more exploring for us. I think we're going to head kind of down this way. Okay, yeah, and we'll just keep moving south until we run into Karishar's throne, hopefully. Now, as I said, I think down here, I actually do want to split off an army to head down and at least go into the Shadow Realms. Now, the question is going to be, who would be best suited to do that? I mean, Sheila is probably not a terrible choice. I mean, Jafsar is by far my most powerful hero in this group and has a very powerful stack, despite losing that Bone Dragon. And again, Leandra's got a decent stack, but nothing, you know, crazy. So, I don't know. It might be worth... Sheila isn't particularly powerful, really. She doesn't really have a whole lot going for her. She does have, if I remember right, Heal Undead, maybe? Yeah, she does. Because she's got the effigy of the Lich King here. So that's at least pretty helpful. You know what? She does have a full stack. I could send her and maybe try to get some reinforcements to help her as well. So you know what? Let's maybe send her down into the water. We can head down. We can clear out this lost library. Maybe reclaim our city and then head into the Shadow Realm. I think that's going to be the plan for her. Meanwhile, up here, let's deal with this situation. So it looks like we've got... You know what? We'll engage the battle here. That way it just kind of brings everybody in. You know what? Let's just do this one in auto combat. Yeah, there we go. And we did recruit one of those poachers. Now with Jafsar, let's head over and raid this Sphinx Temple. Ooh, and look at this. We've got an Ignoculus, a Watcher, and a Watchling. So the Ignoculus is a tier 3 unit. Kind of a variant of the Watcher here. Magical origin, floating. It's considered a monster. Does have mind control immunity. But I think we can still Ghoul Curse it, potentially. Has Searing Gaze and does blight damage in melee. That's kind of cool. Alright, let's give it a shot. If nothing else, I'm hoping that we get a good chunk of knowledge out of raiding this. Alright, our Oathbreaker is going to be useful here. Jafsar... Does have Nourishing Meal, but again, that doesn't really work on undead in terms of providing the big health boost. But we have our Lion's Courage. You know what? Let's throw that onto our Chariot, who has really been pulling its weight, doing a lot for us. And we have our Ghast, and we also have our Shredder, who we tried to get out of this stack, but then ended up coming back into the stack. All right, we're going to let them come to us. Or they're just going to stay in defense. That's fine, too. Okay, well, that gives us a chance to kind of advance here a little bit. We have to be careful with Jafsar. I mean, he does have Undying, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he has Undying, and he also has Resurgence. But if he does go down, then we'll lose his all of his abilities, like his healing and stuff. And we don't want to do that, so we'll just kind of advance in. And again, I want to goad them into attacking me. So if I want to do that, I suppose I could just, step up, blast the Watcher, and then kind of retreat back, force them to come to me. And I think we'll kind of just go like this. All right, let's see what they do. Yeah, there we go. Okay, they tried to petrify me. Thankfully, they failed. Just got to survive the fire attack onslaught here, which we did, no problem. All right, so now our Ghast can step up. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's attack the Fire Cat. Perfect. Now we can blast this Watchling for some pretty heavy damage here, actually. Yeah, very nice. You know what? We can even get the kill with Jafsar, potentially. What other ranged attacks do we have? Yeah, that'll do. Perfect. And then our Oathbreaker can step up and engage the Watcher. Let's do that. Meanwhile, our Royal Chariot can attack the Fire Cat. Get the kill there, no problem. And our Muse, I suppose, can step up and blast the Ignoculus here for some hefty damage. Now, I want to try and Ghoul Curse at least one of these. Oof. Well, that lifesteal is keeping my gas alive over there. All right, so maybe here's a good choice. We can try for the Ignoculus. Fortunately, we've only got a 40% chance of that landing, so what I should have done in that first turn was use Jafsar to try to inflict despair. That would have actually been a more intelligent use of my assets here. So we'll jump in behind. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so not entirely unexpected, but it did fail. So then, you know what? Let's... We can bring in our Chariot. Flank. Oh, I guess we can't flank because it has total awareness. But we did get the kill. That's what we needed. So now it's just a Shredder. Let's try for a... we didn't get the net. The Ensnare. That's what I was kind of hoping for there, but that's all right. Now we have this Watcher who, unfortunately, I think we're just going to kill rather than... Yeah, that's fine, though. And then the Ghast can either devour a corpse or just go in and fight. I'm going to go in and fight because lifesteal is amazing. Yeah, again, this wasn't the greatest battle in terms of me getting my Ghoul Curses successfully. Now the Ghast can devour a corpse for that health gain. Again, our Shredder's in rough shape, so this is a good opportunity to just drop a big heal. Very nice. And then let's use our Chariot here around behind. Very good. Step off and get the kill. Let's see what we get as a reward here. Nice knowledge boost there. Let's see. Cape of Rot. So this is a mythical torso gear item that gives free movement and Path of Decay. The unit is not hindered by any terrain movement penalties. I mean, this is all right, and Path of Decay just turns it into Blighted Wasteland as the unit moves over it. I mean, it's all right, but it's to be honest, it's not really my favorite because it only benefits the hero, right? So the hero is still going to be limited by the stack. That said, we get all this knowledge, so I'm going to take this mostly just for the knowledge gain. Now, let's see. Does anybody need a torso? You know what? We can give it to Sheila, I suppose. Oh, actually, never mind. She has the Jada's Rags that's going to be there soon. Well, Lux Aeterna doesn't have anything, so I guess we could send it to him. Alternatively, we could just sell it. I mean, that's not the worst idea ever as well, but we'll send it to him. So that's great. We got quite a bit out of that, so that's very good. So you can see here we have 486 knowledge. So now, I mean, we can, basically just tackle a couple of things. We could grab necromancy and fertility rites in one shot. Yeah, we've got lots of options there. So let's keep the turn going before we decide. But all right, now let's head over, kind of regroup with the rest of our units over here with Jafsar. And you know what? I'm actually thinking I'm going to send Leandra down as well, now that I'm thinking about it. Let's get that poacher out of the stack. I suppose I could send Leandra underground, maybe, but I actually think I'm going to head into the Shadow Realm with both stacks. Because I've got so many units that are moving over in this direction. I mean, I've got so many, I'm not going to need more. And we'll move the Banshee down to join Leandra as well. Okay, so then these two stacks are both going to head down and go through the Shadow Gate over here. That's the objective down there. Now our Banshee. I mean, again, we could use our Banshee as a crude scout over here, which not the worst idea. Oh, and look at this. Okay, and there's you know what? There's a Shadow Gate over here. Isn't that interesting? And here's a city belonging to Sidran. Okay, so Sidran has made it out into the surface world from the Shadow Realm, and he is starting to found cities in there. That's interesting. So presumably if I go through here, I will run into him. That would be my guess. It's kind of cool. He's got cities in and amongst Carishar, so the two of them are, building their little empire together, which is kind of what they should do as teammates. All right, let's do another Banshee, I guess. Actually, you know what? Now that we have a city that we're about to turn over, let's maybe do an Embrace Darkness now that I think about it. Yeah, that's probably a better choice for me. All right, I think we've kind of done everything we needed to really up here, and now it's just a handful of kind of cleanup things. So we have our mummy that we're going to send up to join. Now at least we've got a few units in this stack. We should be able to, at least do something. Oh, here we go. Okay, Mature Shock Serpent. I think we can handle that. We do have to be careful, though. Ouch, and of course we got shocked, too. Alright. Our Queen of the Lost has some cool abilities here. She's got Curse, she's got Spirit Blast. Lux Aeterna, of course, has Spirit. So, I think maybe what we'll do is we'll go and park our mummy, like, right there. And then I think we're going to step up with our Queen of the Lost and do... Oh, yeah, let's do some hefty damage there. And then follow that up with some additional hefty damage. Let's see what happens next. I'm a little nervous. Oh, yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Oh, no. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I was worried about the units just, going for the hero, but we ended up being just fine. So our mummy ended up using up most of its... So, now here's what we could do. We can kill the Dread Monkey with the hero. Perfect. And then that should allow us to get in... Oh, and you know what? We're not going to have enough to kill the air elemental, unfortunately. Now our hero's kind of in danger, actually. This isn't ideal. Oh, you know what? Hang on. We can go in behind here and do some flanking damage. Yeah, okay. Now we should be fine now. Even if he attacks the hero, I think we'll be okay. Yep. No problem. Again, we might want to add another unit into this stack, though, just because that does put our hero in some danger. So, yeah, let's see. Can we maybe get... Yeah, let's do a Reanimator. To have a little bit more healing. Oh, man, we've gotten over 500 free knowledge. That's excellent. Okay. What else? A little more scouting down here. Sure, why not? Oh, and there's a shadow gate. Okay. They were... See, I've been trying to find them most of the game, and now I've finally started to locate them. They're just kind of hidden in certain parts of the map. So there's one. We'll definitely want to go in there and see if there's anything on this kind of portion of the map. Although, my guess is that the enemy forces are going to be located largely in this kind of western region and then maybe in the central region of the Shadow Realm, as opposed to the eastern portion, just based on kind of where they seem to be located primarily. We'll jump underground here and kind of finish doing our stuff. Again, this stack, we're just going to keep moving here. This unit, we're going to just keep digging our way to wealth. There we go. And then again, we are building this stack to head on down this way. And yeah, now we have another unit to add in. That's perfect. And I think that's going to do it. That should hopefully be sufficient. So now we'll just do some merchandise here. I don't think we had any other units that we were sending down there. So that should about do it. I think that's good now. I'm just trying to think if there was anybody else. I think we'll pick our research. Okay, so we've got 500 to spare. Boy, we could just get Raised Dead right off the hop here. But you know what? I think the casting points plus we might as well get fertility rights out of the way. We've got 150 left. You know, honestly, I wouldn't mind just getting advanced logistics as quickly as possible here. I mean, I could have dumped all of it into that, but this is still going to shave one turn off. So, you know what? Let's do advanced logistics. And that way it'll be done quickly. It's nice to have fertility rights just to improve the growth of our cities a little bit. And then, you know, that also gets it out of the way. Okay, so most of our cities, we're going to just continue to do merchandise here for the time being. We really don't need any units coming out of them just at this point. This stack, again, will follow everybody else kind of down that way. And our poor builder, again, I didn't realize we hadn't cleared out that gold mine. So, I guess the question is, where else do we want to go that's going to be useful? Just trying to see, what else have we cleared on the map? You know what? I think we'll just head kind of over here, because I suspect as most of our units are all converging in that area, we're going to have other things we've cleared out that are going to probably be worth, you know, putting up some structures on, hopefully. And then we'll end our turn there. All right, Sidron is now moving. Won a battle. It's kind of cool that we can see one of his cities on the surface right here. Boy, I can't wait to get all these units down there, though. Again, once this army is able to make it south and start attacking, it's going to just be devastation. Okay, let's see what happened here. So, seal victory is imminent. Okay, so I have 5 turns left until I win by seals. But again, my objective is not to win by seals right now. It's actually to keep pushing and try to see if I can just eliminate my opponents. So, I'm not worrying about that. I've completed Heptatopia, so that means I'm the first to acquire 7 towns, and I get a 5% boost to city income, which, hey, that's pretty good. Let's see what else happened. We have a quest available. Tell me more. Slay the dragons. I would get a fairy and a tier 3 fae and some beggar's shoes. Very cool looking dragon here, but you know what? Hang on a second. What kind of dragon is that? Oh, a crimson dragon. Wow. I was going to say, I don't recognize... That is so cool with the horns and everything. This is a... it's a fire dragon. Oh, that's neat. So I long believed that red dragons were the same as the fire ones, but it seems like I was mistaken, as apparently the red dragons are a different breed entirely, and they are less prone to living among their brethren and prefer to stick to the old ways, fighting alongside draconians. Oh, that's so cool. I can't recall the multiple horns, which is why I made the mistake in the first place. Oh, so that is so cool. It's just a variant of kind of the fire dragon, but it's very neat. I like the design. That is super cool. And the spiked tail and everything. Oh, that is so badass. Okay. Let's check out Sidron here. Okay, so yeah, he won a battle. Looks like he attacked an independent city and took it over. So a Shadow Elf city. So now he owns it, I'm assuming. He won a battle over here, it looks like. He lost one of... Oh, he has Umbral Weaver Charioteers, and he lost one of them. But he was able to mind control the Dire Bear. So he's got some shamans. Shadow Elf shamans. And of course, we know he now has tier 4 units, which is going to make things that much more difficult for me. Again, we're going to ignore this quest. Let's see, we've absorbed this nomadic outlaw dwelling into our empire, which honestly, I think we're just going to probably leave it alone. It's not really worth developing for us, so we're just going to have it produce merchandise in perpetuity there, I think. We're not going to let them join us. We've finished migration down here. That's excellent. And you know what? We can already produce some units out of the city if need be. So let's just do a Harvester's Guild and get it up to an Embalmer's Guild. And we can throw Embrace Darkness on the city because why not? And we might as well just start working on another Banshee. You know what? If we can clear out this inn, we could do a... I'm actually going to change spells. We could do a Corrupt the Source. You know what? We can probably do that right now. So with Jafsar, we're moving over this way. We might as well... Tomb Guardian. I was going to say we might as well just clear this out. Since we're going through here anyway. This is going to be a... auto combat. Excellent. Okay. So now, you know what? We can open this up and we can corrupt the source, turn that into a haunted inn. And this is another one of those opportunities where we could recruit. Oh, and looks like we've got Archon Revenant Hoplite, which is a tier 1 pikeman, or some halfling mourners, which have a heal undead, which is kind of nice. But at this point, I don't really need them. And then we might as well head down this way with this group, and at least with Jafsar, we can clear this out. We'll just do auto combat. Yeah, that's fine. Because again, we want to get into the action with Jafsar's stack if we can. We're going to head around that way. Okay, let's upgrade our hero. Jafsar is now level 12, which means he now has access to Scourge of Undead. So it might be time to maybe start just giving him some casting points since we can. Really haven't done that with him yet, so maybe let's start doing that. As for our other units here, I think even though we know that there's that Shadow Gate over on the western side of the map, I think it would be good to just kind of start heading down as we had sort of planned here. You know what? We can clear out one of these structures since we're moving through it anyway. Yeah, we'll do this one manually just to make sure we don't, you know, screw it up. Actually, having this Banshee is kind of useful now because we have a unit that can handle itself pretty well in these aquatic battles, where the rest of our units are all in boats, which isn't as ideal. All right, we'll let them move a little bit closer before we do anything crazy. That's fine. And then we might as well just kill the yeah, there we go. No problem at all. And then our Banshee can swoop in behind here, flank and turn them around. And then I'm just seeing who would maybe benefit from some additional experience. Let's see. Leandra can perhaps do this. And then maybe drop a heal onto the Ice Queen. And then we can swoop over with our mummy, do some damage, and then do a little more damage. And that also restored our movement points, which is great. Oh, and nice, we can head straight down to the Lost Library, which is good. So let's do that. We can clear that out while we're at it. All right, let's see what we got. A goblin pontif... What is it? Pontifex. Interesting. Okay, so he's riding a beetle. Denouncing Spree. Marks the target unit as a heretic until the end of battle. Devout units deal an additional 3 damage against heretics. Bolt of Anguish. Does Blight and Spirit. Very cool. Has Break Control, Demolisher. Considered a support unit, and it's a devout unit. That's very, very cool. I wonder, this must be, this might be a variant unit that is available to Theocrats, although I'm not entirely sure. Very cool. All right, let's do this battle. This will be another way to maybe get some extra knowledge and maybe a free spell out of it, which is always nice. Okay. Again, I want to make sure I'm careful in this battle. I don't want to lose anybody if I don't absolutely have to. We can attack the Chanter there and just tie them up. We did take a bit of damage with the mummy. Not ideal. A little more than I would like. Now, we do have some units lined up in a nice line there, which would be kind of alright. You know what? Let's get this mummy involved with the priest here. Yeah, there we go. And then we can step over and attack for some pretty hefty damage with the Ice Queen while we're at it. Oh, I forgot about that explosive death. Ouch. That hurt. Now here's maybe a chance where Leandra can come over and heal our mummy. Yeah, there we go. Just to prevent an unnecessary loss there. You know what? The Banshee can move over and maybe throw up. Yeah, let's do it. Veil of Despair. Now, we're going to take some punishment here. Or not. Oh, that's fine. Okay, so the priest got buffed, so... Well, let's step up with our cadaver. And use our mummy. Okay, there's the kill there. Now, this mummy can... advance... in like this and attack the priest. And then those two have done their thing already. Pontifex is actually pretty tough customer, so I think the Banshee would be best to teleport in behind, turn that priest around. Alright, and here's what we're going to do with Leandra. We're going to go like this. And then, I mean, I suppose we can just do this and kill both of them. So, you know what? We'll throw the spear, even though it's not going to do much damage. And then we'll do this. There we go. And then we can step in and flank. Nice, and a big critical hit there. That's... Oh, and perfect. The exposure killed it. And we didn't lose anybody. That's exactly what we needed. Some nice level ups there. Nice. We got Black Lightning and some extra knowledge. Not too shabby. Okay, so that worked out pretty well for us, all things considered. We can step down there. Alright, perfect. So, this unit, I guess we can just head underground as a scout here. Yeah, we'll just go see what we can find. Mostly, I'm just kind of making sure that Carishar doesn't have a hidden city or something underground. Alright, now let's head over here. So this looks like, is it a... Okay, he has a Shadow Elf city out here on the surface. So that's kind of interesting. We're going to enter the... Oh, and look at this. Okay, that's a city, but it's not his throne. And here you can see the Horned God. This is his tier 4 unit as a Archdruid. So... Alright, not his throne city, but definitely a big city that we're going to have to deal with. So, At least we know where Sidron is. Or at least where some of his cities are, anyway. Now, I would like to kind of retreat away from his cities a little bit, just so I don't get attacked as... Okay, now this, I'm wondering this might be the throne city of Carishar. Certainly possible. Alright. Jafsar's done his thing. So, let's figure out who we want to send down. So, as far as these units go... Thinking, well, these units can heal, which is huge, so... Let's throw maybe one of them in for sure. Actually, you know what? We'll send both of these units in. We'll leave this guy behind just because, why not? And then these two stacks can just keep doing their thing and just heading down. Could even clear out this Wicked Flames of Growth since we're in the area. Do it in auto combat. Yeah, no trouble. And we recruited a couple of units as well. And then this group can move on down as well. Oh, and look at this. We've got a Draconian Infernal. Very cool. I like those kind of ethereal-looking wings. Fire Aura, Explosive Death. So a variant of the Draconian Flyer. Very cool. All right. So that's going to do it there. What else do we have? Spellcasting. Let's work on... We already did Embrace Darkness, so... Let's just start summoning another Banshee while we're at it. In terms of production at most of our cities, again, we're just going to keep doing merchandise. There's no real reason right now to do anything else. Toongale, same story. Our throne city, we did finish a reanimator who we are going to go add in. Okay, now this stack should at least be able to put some work in, and then that means that in our throne we can just go back to merchandise. All right, now these armies up here. Now, here we go. Let's go raid the dungeon. See what we can find. Ooh, look at this. A Dwarf Griffin Lord. He's riding a... I was going to say that. I thought that was a cockatrice, but I think it's a griffin, yeah. Well, that makes sense. Griffin Lord, yeah. Silly me. Mind control immunity. So it's kind of like a Manticore Rider, but like a variant of it. Has a shield. Is armored as a dwarf. That makes sense. Flying, of course. First strike. Very cool. Very, very cool. And it's considered cavalry, of course. All right, let's do it. So, of course, we're going to try and Ghoul Curse the heck out of that unit. Because why not? So we have not one, but two Bone Dragons in this stack. And, of course, now our Apparition is quite beastly as well. And we have our own Manticore Rider here. And then we have a Wraith to do some healing. So Ramhotep can just advance. Alright, we're gonna have to get a little bit more aggressive here to make them come to us. That's fine by me. Yeah, there we go. Nice breath attacks here. Excellent. And we'll get all of our units up and involved here. Be pretty aggressive. Oh, and he's panicked. Okay. Isn't that interesting? So, who has regrowth? Is that the shield biter? Someone has regrowth in there. Maybe it's the battle rager. Oh, you know what? That might be because we went through that shrine. Now that, yeah, that's what that is. Shrine of the Guardian Angel. That makes sense. Okay, what are our odds here? Right now, it's only a 40% odds, but we could try and inflict despair before we actually really go for it, because this unit's going to run away anyway. So let's try it. Oh, and I don't think we got any despair off there. That's too bad. Okay, well. The Bone Dragon, I guess, can just start killing these units here. Here we go. So then over here we can go in and kill the Battle Rager. Nice. Excellent. Takes care of that. Perfect. Okay, there, he tried to run. And then let's send our Ramhotep over and try for the Ghoul Curse. Okay, an immune. Not really a surprise, given that the odds of that working were kind of low. We'll drop a heal, because we can. Bone Dragon can swoop over here. Blast. And we took the hit, but we tanked it and then got the kill. I wasn't trying all that hard to get the Griffin Lord, to be honest. Ooh, and look at this. A Tigran Firecat and a Orc Shock Trooper and some gold, or just a bunch of gold. I mean, we've got so many units, I'm almost tempted to just sell this for the gold, honestly. I think I'm going to do that. Just sell it. Now we have a huge chunk of gold to work with, so that's great. Now, here's a great opportunity where we could send Ramhotep into the Shadow Realm here and go see what kind of trouble we can cause by doing that. Yeah, it seems like these Shadow Gates were just hiding on me the whole game, because, again, I've been looking for them, and now suddenly I'm finding a whole bunch, so... Ooh, and interesting, here's a Umbral Weaver Charioteer. So, yeah, wow, okay, it looks like... Tigran has a fair amount of territory. Yeah, let's head into the Shadow Realm here. Okay, very nice. Here's another city up north. So we know this one isn't the Throne City, but it's possible that this one is. So again, we're going to just do some exploring in there with Ramhotep, who's insanely powerful, so I'm not really that concerned about him getting into any trouble at this point. That said, I am going to send this stack in for some reinforcements. And you know what? For good measure, I'll send this army in as well. Everybody's just kind of going to go after Ramhotep there. Alright, so that's going to do it there. And then our builder, I think, we can just kind of do what I said, which is sort of follow along. And, yeah, we're just going to wait our turn there. We might as well finish up exploring into the Shadow Realm over here. And I don't really expect to find anything. Ooh, look at this. We do have a spawning structure, this Magic Rift. You can see spawning some nasties. Let's maybe run away and see if we can keep our scout alive. And we might as well keep digging for some gold while we're able to. Alright, there we go. Very good. And then this stack... Well, I guess we can head north. Fortunately, we're a little bit weak, so I don't know if we're going to be able to really clear much. This group can cruise on down here. And then, yeah, we're going to head in and try and capture that Goblin City. This little scout can maybe head over, try and meet up with... Actually, you know what, or we could just head south, although there's really not a whole lot to scout. So, you know what, let's go up this way, hide in the mountain, and then try to aid our other group here that's trying to move down. And that's going to do it, and I think we'll end the episode right here, kind of at the end of the turn. That'll be a good spot to leave it. So, just to zoom out, you can see we've now got eyes on a lot of what's going on. We managed to capture one of the cities there that belonged to Carishar, and we now have really good eyes on Tigran as well. And if we jump into the Shadow Realm, here's two more of his cities, and we know that he's operating over here as well. So, yeah, we've got a lot of good developments in this episode. We're gonna save it right here. Call this one episode 15. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.